Hello, children. Lots of brothers and sisters and cousins have seen me talking to them as Elizabeth I, which is how you see me, doing lessons on history and doing really well. They're doing really well. But this is going to be a bit different. I'm now talking to children, well, anybody who wants to hear really, at the age of about 5 or 6 or younger or 64. You're all welcome. I'm going to do some little stories for children so that we can gather close together in the old tradition of storytelling. So the first one is called Tom and Bob. Tom was a little boy who lived at the seaside. He was lucky, wasn't he? And his parents ran a fish and chip shop. But on a Saturday, it used to get terribly busy, particularly in the high summer. And so consequently, his auntie, Tricia, used to take him, Tom, down to the beach with his bucket and spade. But what he loved best of all was having a little net, going into the rock pools that were just off the beach, and making sure he kept waving at his aunt so she could see he was there. He'd go looking for wonderful things in the little rock pools to see what gifts the sea had brought. It would be wonderful coloured shells and little prawns walking about, tiny bits of seaweed. Some of it, you can pick it up and pop it like that. It makes a great noise. You have to be careful because it squirts in your eye if you're not careful too. His Aunt Tricia would bring a little picnic and she'd put out a red and white tablecloth and some blankets for them to sit in and a little chair for her. She'd always keep an eye and make sure he didn't go too near the sea, and if he did, she'd watch him. He had his beach shoes on, though. He could paddle in those, and little shorts. He had little shorts and beach shoes and a stripy top. Now, when people stop being poorly in England, you'll be able to have a chance to go to the seaside, but not at the moment. But for those who live there, hello. So there's Tom, carefully going over the slippery rocks, waved at his aunt, and looking in the wonderful rock pools. There were loads and loads and loads of them. Looking, and as he was standing there, suddenly he heard a voice say, "Hello, young man." He thought, where's that come from? It was quite quiet on the beach. There was nobody about, nobody on the rock pools. He looked up, he couldn't see anything, and then he heard it again. "Hello, young man." So he looked down, and then one of the biggest rock pools was a fish looking at him. He said to the fish, "Did you speak to me?" Fishy, "Of course I did. Who else would it be? There's nobody here. Bound to be me, innit?" "Oh," said the boy. "I didn't know that fish could speak." "Well, I can't normally," he said, "but it's a bit tricky at the moment. I've got myself in a bit of a difficult situation, see? So I want you to give me an hand, because if I don't have an hand from you, because I can't help myself, I'll be in trouble. What's your name?" And Tom said, "It's Tom. Have you got a name?" He said, "Of course I have. It's Bob." He said, "Is it Bob because you bob?" "Oh, no," said the fish. "My father's called Bob. But now you mention it, it might because we bob. Anyway, I'm in a bit of trouble. Can you help me?" "What's the matter?" said Tom. He said, "Well, it's like this, see. I've got a friend in London. I'm from London. You can tell I'm from London. I'm from the Thames. Well, the Thames is a big river, you know, but the bit that goes right through the middle of London, in fact, near the Tower of London, seen it all. That's where I live most of the time. There's some steps down there at the water, and I've got a friend what's a mouse." Tom said, "You've got a friend that's a mouse? Are you sure it's not another fish?" "No," he said, "I know friends when I see him," he said. "Well, he's not a friend like he can get in and have a swim round. It's not that sort of a friend. But I've met him because he had a habit of coming from the food shop and getting little bits of cheese and little bits of bread what people have thrown out and in the bin, see? So this mouse used to go down the steps, have a bit of peace. And the Thames water's lapping him, see, and the boats is bobbing there. And he kept dropping bits of cheese in, so I got a bit of bread, bit of something was going, see? That's how we became friends, started talking to him. We were shocked and all. Anyway, we become friends. And sometimes when I'm near the boats, what is moored up in the Thames, getting away from the big ones, I can hear people talking because sometimes they'll just be on the top there having a word, see? Anyway, they were talking about a place called Mousehole, which is in Cornwall. And this place in Mousehole got a little harbour, but you spell it Mousehole. Well, I can't read nor write. I can talk though. I thought it was interesting. So I goes back and said to the mouse, "Hey, there's a place called Mousehole." They pronounce it Mousehole in Cornwall. So I'm going to go there and have a look at it for you if you like. The mouse was thrilled, he said. Tom said, that's a very long way from London. He says, I know, which is why I got into trouble here, see, because I ain't that far away, am I? I don't think. I've come out in the sea, swimming about, meeting all these people, avoiding the big ships, doing all right. But then this storm come up, see, and this great big wave come up and goes, whoa, pick me up and threw me into these rock pools. And when it pulled away, I'm in here. I'm stuck. Anyway, food's not good. It ain't big enough. I've got to get back to my house. Anyway, I don't belong here. I belong in the Thames. It was mad of me to try and go. I don't know what possessed me. Have you got parents? He said. Tom said, yes, I've got mum and dad. What'd they do? He said. Tom thought, I wonder if I want to mention this. He said, they've got a fish and chip shop. Sorry about the fish. That's all right, said Bob. They ain't relatives of mine. That's all right. That's the way it is, isn't it? He said, anyway, that's really interesting, but I'm fed up with this conversation. Could you put me back in the sea? Righto, said Tom. But I haven't got a jar big enough. We've got a net. Put me in the net. Pick me up. Trot down. Throw me in the sea. Well, we'll have to stay a little bit longer because the sea's so far away. I'll be frightened you can't, I don't want you to die, said Tom. Oh, it's all right, said Bob. I won't. I'll hold my breath a bit. Be all right. Go on, I've got to get back in. Righto, said Tom. But I'll have to be very careful when I'm running that I don't slip on the rocks and you fall out. I'd hate that. That's all right, said Bob. We'll do it together, you and I. We'll think it through, but we'll do it together. You've got to be careful. I don't want you to fall over neither. Not if you're helping me, said the cockney fish. Righto, said Tom. So we got his net. Are you ready? He said. Yeah, I'm ready, said Bob. Caught him up in the net. Sure enough, out he came. Bob went, and then he ran. He ran, slipping a little bit, down the sea, down the sea, down the sea. And he saw him leap into the waters. He saw him leap out of the waters, full of joy, released, making his way back to the Thames, to the little tiny mouse sitting there waiting for him to come back to hear all about it. But he wouldn't be able to hear much, but he could hear about the other adventure instead. Before he left, Bob, the fish, the cockney fish, had left a little shell, a pink and twinkly one, on the side of the rock pool as a gift. Tom had picked it up and put it in his pocket and handkerchief. He went back and sat with his aunt and decided he wouldn't tell his aunt about the talking fish. It would be something he would keep in his heart. So they had a very nice lunch, and then after lunch, underneath, because you've got to be very careful, lots of sun cream, underneath this umbrella, he dozed off, had this lovely big sun umbrella. And when he woke up, he thought, oh, I've had the best dream. I dreamt I was talking to a fish in the rock pool. It was a lovely dream because it was such fun. And it goes to show the world is full of extraordinary things, but it was just a dream. When he went home that night, he took up his stripy t-shirt and everything, got dressed, ready for bed, and something clattered on the floor, and when he looked, it was a pink and twinkly seashell. And then he remembered it was the present from Bob. He kept that shell all of his life and wondered if Bob ever thought about him. Because Tom definitely thought about Bob. Did you like that? Is that a good story?